You are a three-time season-long FedEx Cup champion. Are you the season-long champion if you win next week, or is whoever wins next week? Can you consider that a season-long champion when you just get to East Lake and win one tournament?
I mean, who knows at this point?
That's why I asked you.
I don't know. I think it's hard. You know, it's like every other sport has, or every other American sport has playoffs, and you know they sort of try to make a big deal of the end of the season. And I think it's hard. And I come from a place where, like, the Premier League, Liverpool won the Premier League last year with 5 games to spare. You know, that's sometimes what happens in sports. Sometimes you have guys, or you have a team that is just that much better than everyone else that season, and they are the deserving winner. So I think from a player perspective, it seems like the consensus was that people didn't like the starting stroke, so to get rid of that is a good thing. But I now think that the Tour Championship not being starting strokes is, it's sort of its own thing now. You obviously you win the Tour Championship, which then means you win the FedEx Cup, but I don't necessarily think that means that you're the season-long winner. Unless Scotty Scheffler wins it, and he is the season-long winner. But everyone knows Scotty Scheffler is, he's won 2 majors this year. He's head and shoulders above the rest in terms of the points going into this week. He'll be ahead of everyone going in, in the points going into next week. So he's deservedly got his bonus all the way through. And then everything resets, and it's sort of, I guess I see it as more of a one-off event rather than the culmination of the entire season.
Doug, can you hand that to Bob, and we'll go over here to Adam first.
Thanks. Rory, they're calling this kind of a bridge year with the Tour Championship. Is there something that you would like to see change to make it even more compelling for the future?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously been a lot of discourse about should these playoffs be mandatory or not, or, obviously I didn't play last week, and is that something that they need to look at? It could be something where, and I've heard this idea kicked around where, everything resets after Wyndham, and then the top 70 just play for the top 50 spots to get into the next week, and then everything resets again here, and then the top 30 from this week then make it to the Tour Championship. I mean, if you want to try to make it straight playoffs and elimination, I think that would be a good way to go. But you're trying to balance a lot of different things. You're trying to balance the competitive integrity of what the playoffs are, but you're also trying to keep the media rights partners happy. You're trying to keep the sponsors happy. They're the people that are paying the big bucks to expect the big names to be playing in their golf tournaments, and that's a delicate balance.
If you had gone from being number 2 back to the very end at 50 for not having played last week, would you have still skipped?
Yeah, I'm playing 9 times between now and the end of the year, so I think by the time October, November comes around, I'm going to be glad of that extra week off, yeah.
Okay. And as you try to figure out kind of new goals, I'm curious, is being a Ryder Cup playing captain something that you aspire to? Is that something?
No, I've been asked to do that, and I've turned it down.
You've already been asked to be the captain?
No, the idea of me being a playing captain sometime soon coming up has come up, and I've shot it down straight away.
Yeah, why?
Because I don't think you can do it.
We'll go to Bob, and then over this side.
Hey, Rory. I don't know if you publicly said it, or maybe you did in an interview a long time ago. You sort of telegraphed that you weren't going to play last week. So it wasn't maybe a big surprise, but obviously there was some reaction to it. Wouldn't you think, though, or do you think that maybe you're a little bit the outlier? You just mentioned that you've got a big schedule coming up, where most of the guys don't. Especially the American guys, they're kind of done after next week, except for the Ryder Cup So I'm just curious if you think you're maybe the outlier. Guys aren't typically skipping $20 million tournaments.
No, and a lot of the guys aren't 18 years into their professional career either. It's I feel like I'm in a little bit of a different position than some of the guys, and as I said, I'm playing 9 times between now and the end of the year, so I've still got a pretty busy stretch coming up, and I just think that extra week off, will do me good, with the events coming up, and some big events that are important to me, Irish Open, Wentworth, obviously the Ryder Cup. I want to try to win my 7th race to Dubai over in Europe as well, and there's some things that are still important to me that I want to go play in, and that was a big part of the reason why I wanted to take that extra week off last week.
We'll go front left down here, right here.
Yeah, and then just a little bit of a change of pace here.
Thank you.
As you end off. Obviously, you've made a lot of money in your career. Do you remember what you spent your first tour paycheck on?
Yes, a watch.
A watch?
With diamonds around it. It was horrific. I can't believe it was it's like the worst purchase ever. It was so bad.
Do you remember the make and model?
I do. It's not the make and model that I'm sponsored by now, so I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Rory, appreciate it. Have a great week.
Thank you.